It is the tradition of the college to ask the student who received the Outstanding Leadership Award to represent the senior class in a reflection of their MSU experiences. The 2014 award winner is Chelsea Rawe. Please welcome Chelsea Rawe to bring greetings to her peer graduates.
Thank you, Dr. Mullenbaugh, and hello, my fellow Spartans. We all come to MSU to study a wide array of subjects. However, I think we all leave with somewhat similar lessons learned. I would like to share with you a few of the lessons that entomology has taught me over these last 4 years. The first lesson came to me while I was riding on a bumpy South American bus. A friend I had made in Ecuador, who grew up in the Amazon, was telling me about how his grandma ate live palm weevil grubs, and he boldly stated that no American would ever eat them. From a few feet down the crowded bus aisle, I said, "Nuh-uh, voy a comerlas." I would eat them. And this brings me to my first lesson. Take opportunities. When else was I going to have the chance? Over our time at MSU, we took hold of the many opportunities presented to us. Whether that was the Lazarus option on your Orgo final, being part of a sports team, talking to that cute guy or gal in your residence hall, or deciding to study abroad. However, after taking all these wonderful opportunities, we're often left in an interesting position, as I most certainly was after I had volunteered to eat a live grub. As I placed the squirming critter in my mouth and chomped down, liquid was squirting in all directions, and I was fighting back my gag reflex. And it was in that moment that I learned to stay the course, even when times got tough. Maybe that guy you asked out couldn't remember your name, or maybe even though you'd spent all night studying, there was no way another biochemical pathway or Latin name was going to stick in your head. Or maybe it was the homesickness that you fought through freshman year, spending your first birthday away from your family, or getting past those first cringingly awkward moments with your freshman roommate. Maybe you kept pushing your physical limits or continued on learning a language even after a few embarrassing fumbles. As Spartans, we have to stick with our endeavors and not be afraid to try again. I'll have you know that cooked palm weevil does taste a little bit like bacon. Now, as we go forward in life, there are insect traits we must be cognizant of. My third lesson is to grow and change. Insects are always growing, changing, and transforming themselves. The butterfly has it pretty easy. It's only got 4 stages, but other things like dragonflies can molt up to 17 times. As we move forward into the world, we must remain humbly aware of our own shortcomings. We should work to continue gaining knowledge. I often think the most important thing I learned in college is that there is infinitely more I do not yet know. This is true not only for one person, but also for humanity as a whole. We still have massive, uncharted waters in the scientific world. I challenge you to keep changing, keep growing, and keep exploring new ideas. An idea I would like you to consider now is commonly attributed to the Dalai Lama, who said, "One who believes they're too small to make a difference has never slept in a room with a single mosquito." If the annoyance of a mosquito on a hot summer night in Michigan isn't enough to convince you of the power of one, think about the power vested in one malaria-positive mosquito. No matter how small we view our own actions, each of us has an impact, and we must recognize our power. Now, a shout out to the farmers in the audience. What do you do if you send a scout into the field and they come back and tell you that there are 2 or 3 Japanese beetles? The answer is usually nothing. Who cares? If a few beetles eat a few leaves on a few plants, that's not going to impact your bottom line. However, we all know that fields full of insect pests, plant pathogens, or pest nematodes can be absolutely devastating. I encourage you to recognize the collective power we have on the world we live in. While at times it seems we may just be one bug doing something unimportant, our actions do add up. Finally, I ask you to shift gears and reflect on the importance of a single bee. One bee is not incredibly important. It pollinates only a few flowers. However, without bees, we'd have no honey, cherries, apples, kiwis, cashews, and that's just naming a few. In fact, we would be missing out on 1/3 of the food we enjoy today. Much like pollinators, each of us is capable of making a difference in the lives of our community and world. We all have unique talents that help our society to function, much like an ecosystem requires many types of organisms to be functional and healthy. As college students, we have already learned to be volunteers and activists in our community. And Spartans are kind people. Thanks to the person that gave me the last spot on the bus so I could get to my exam on time, or to the Spartans who helped me jump my friend's car when we really just wanted to go home for break, or to the advisors and TAs who answer emails all day and night to help us learn, or to the Spartans who raise money for cancer research or clean water throughout the world. Please, continue these acts of love as you go into the world as college graduates. Teach a kid to read, help the elderly, and practice compassion towards the people, animals, and ecosystems you work with. Much like honeybees, we have an enormous collective power. I challenge you to be a Spartan. Thank you, congratulations, and go green.